Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Monday, June 9th. It is 6:27 right now. We got market opening up in about 3 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, let me go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. All right, market is now open, guys. Let me check real quick. Market is now open. We'll come back and take a look at that in a few. Let me finish marking up liquidity here. TradingView's a little laggy today, as you guys can see. Let me try to refresh it. Maybe it'll fix it. Yeah, hopefully this fixes it. Looks a little better. All right. So the breakout for today was a sell, guys, if anybody decided to take it. I'm gonna get back down to the 1 minute pretty soon. Again, some crazy movement here on open, which is normal for a Monday, so I'm not really too concerned with, market movement at the moment. I'm gonna let it kind of stabilize a little bit before I start taking some entries anyways. I'm back down to the 1 minute. Looks like the breakout hit TP there already. ETR is currently at 13. All right, so looking at this here, breakout for today was a sell. You had market open right here. Let me just mark it up on this chart. Yeah, so breakout for today was a sell. This thing came down super hard. Already hit TP right there. Nice, Talanji caught it. SolidWorks launching. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, June 9th. It is 6:32 right now. Market's now open. Breakout for today was a buy right there. There's a possible sweep that may be happening right here. Um, I was kind of waiting for the market here to stabilize a little bit before I started looking for entries. But it looks like a sweep just happened, right? Or it's not, it hasn't happened yet actually. 720. Yeah, if the sweep happens, it either happened right here or it's going to happen at this lower level down here. So this is a sweep area right here. I mean, obviously, I'm waiting for market here to stabilize before I decide to take anything here, but there is a possible sweep right there. That's the value low. Point of control is going to be here down the middle at, say, about like 750. Or the sweep could have happened right there at that lower level right there. I'm not in any positions right now. I'm just kind of following to see what's happening here. Um, for the most part, just waiting for the market here to stabilize a little bit at least. Value high is at 820. So price pretty much respected a lot of these areas over here. I'm not really looking to take entries at the moment. Like I said, today's Monday, guys. You know how Mondays are. It's it's kind of all over the place. So I'm waiting for the market here to kind of decide its position, its direction, stabilize, and then start looking for entries after that. So the sweep here looks like it didn't actually play through. So there's still possibility of a sweep happening later on. If this doesn't play through, we need to follow it to see where the sweep's actually, pushing to. I mean, if anything, if you went for a 2020, it looks like the sweep would have hit here for 2020 at least, actually. So if you went for 20 points, the sweep could have possibly hit there because the ATR is currently at 17 right now. So if you went for a 20-point sweep, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to identify where the sweep has happened. So once the sweep has happened, I can look for a possible opportunity for an MPS V2. So it kind of just depends on like what you're looking for. If you're going for the full 30-30, looks like the 30-30 hasn't played through yet. But if you went for 20 based off the ATR, which you should for this sweep specifically, looks like the 20 points would have hit already right there. Like it pretty much came down, filled, and went straight up and hit TP. So if that's the case, that's fine. We're just using this to identify storyline here. Um, the thing here too is that the MPS V2 actually hasn't came for a sell yet. So there hasn't been an NPS V2 here for a sell yet. There's no news for today. Let's check CNBC. All right, the breaking news right here. It says stocks tick higher as Wall Street awaits details from the US-China trade talks. Yeah, I forgot. They haven't even discussed that yet. What happened on Friday with Trump and Xi. All right, so here it goes. Price pushes right back up. So I would consider this possible sweep area. So price is pushing right back up from there. The sweep was like basically, I mean, if you wanted to go for a bigger, let's see, did this change at all? Not really. I mean, th this would be the possible sweep here. So it looks like this is and was the sweep. This is kind of what happened on Friday. If you remember on Friday, I took a 30-30 and I lost a trade, but then it went straight to TP after. I didn't take this trade right here. I'm just marking this up so that we can have the follow through. Now that we have this here as a sweep, I can look for a possible MPS V2 to happen next, right? So MPS V2 here, it slightly just hit stop loss and then went straight up to TP. So it just kind of depends on like where your TP or where your entry would have happened. I think either way, your entry still would have lost if you took it at the liquidity or if you took it at the value low over here. But that's fine. It's okay if this one here lost because we're using this as storyline, right? Now that we have this here play through, we're now going to look for a possible MPS V2 right back up. So the next entry I'll be looking to take, what I did this time is I cut my risk into three portions. So I can take three trades for the day now. Before I halved it, so I could take two trades, and I'm going to do it for I can take three trades. So now that we have this here, I'll be looking to take the MPS V2 right back up. Opening price is going to be right here. There's not really much structure here to follow. Possible liquidity level down here. Look that up. So this could be a possible MPSV2 for a sell if this thing comes back down. The thing is that the sell MPSV2 still hasn't came up yet. I probably wouldn't be looking for a sell entry. Reason for that's because we have a sessions right here. But if we do get an MPSV2 for a sell, I will mark it up to identify the pattern, right? We're looking for MPSV2 into a sweep. We had a sweep that just happened right here. It failed, but the next opportunity would be an MPSV2. Yeah, it's long. You said breakout push to the sweep, hit 100 points. ATR is still super low. Yeah, it is. It's at 19 right now. I'd expect it to be a bit higher, but it's currently around 20. It's just kind of sitting around there. So if this candle closes as a red candle with no sell with no buy signal, this is going to be an MPSV2. If anybody's looking to take that there. If you do take this as an MPSV2, you want to keep in mind that there is a red flag right here. So if you're going to take this, I would probably get out before it reaches the red flag. So like a 20-point TP stop loss. The candles closed red, so this is a possible MPSV2 entry right here. Again, if you want to take this, I'd probably go for a smaller target, maybe 2020. Specifically because we have a red flag down here. If you want to go for the 30, that's fine. Again, I'm just going to follow this trade. Um, I'm following this as we're following the analysis here, right? Sweep to MPSV2. The only problem with this here that which I wouldn't have wanted to have taken this trade is because it's at a red flag down here. It's at a red flag. It's also at the point of control right here, which is a good sign because typically price bounces from the point of control. Again, I'm not in any of these positions right here, guys. I haven't taken anything for the day. Breakout for today hit full TP. There's a sweep right here that didn't hit, and then there's now an MPSV2 that's currently running. Ideally, I would have liked a buy MPSV2 so I can ride this back up to open, but it's okay. If this here plays through, that's perfectly fine, right? Sweep, rejection off the point of control, right back down. So I'll follow this right here. Christian's asking, how did you divide your capital in three? Do you have to trade the mini for that? No, I'm trading 4 contracts, Christian. I'm normally trading 13 contracts, so I mean, it's easy. You just do 13 divided by 3. It's 4.3 contracts for me specifically. If you're on a 50K, you might have to go to the mini. I mean the micro. Because this is the mini. You'd have to go down to the micro if it doesn't if it's too big. All right, so it looks like 20 points hit already over here, guys. Yeah, so like I said earlier, you probably want to base your trades off the ATR right here because it's not necessarily I mean the volatility is not super, super high. So I mean if you went off 2020, the sweeps here would have happened as well. So we'll kind of base it off whatever the ATR is. So sweep happened, MPSV2. The next thing that I'll be looking for here is a sweep. All right, this is a little tricky because so this could be a possible sweep area right here, but I wouldn't take a trade this early into play. It looks like we might be going into a range. So like with this right here, it looks like price is actually starting to establish some sort of range down here. I wouldn't necessarily want to get right back in for a sweep right after the MPSV2 here just hit. Yeah, John's asking what caused a huge drop. I don't really have anything here. Let me check financial juice. All right, so it says trade talks between US and Chinese delegation have started in London. Talks between the US and China kicked off in London with the US signaling a willingness to remove restrictions on exports in exchange of for insurances that China is easing limits on rare earth shipments. So there's nothing specific here. Um, the main thing is just that there's a lot of talk about the back and forth between US and China. So that's the only thing I can really see that could be causing a big drop like that, other than it's Monday, right? People are re-entering the market from the weekend. So just a bunch of sell orders came in to kind of fill in where they started off, or to fill back in where they remove their positions from the weekend. So on Friday, this typically happens on Monday and Friday, right? Monday and Friday are the riskier days to trade because on Friday people are leaving the market for the weekend, and then Monday people are re-entering. So people who basically sold off their sells last week before market close, they're basically re-entering their sells here. That's why you have this big rush of volatility here. There's no specific news events that cause that. There's no economic events for today. There's nothing on CNBC other than the China trade talks, but that's not happening until later. So there's nothing specific. There's no economic event. There's no catalyst really pushing price. It's mostly just volatility re-entering the market from the weekend. All right, so looking at this right here, we had the MPS V2 come over here real quick, and then now we have price coming right back down. If this is the case right here, the next thing to possibly look for would be, and there was an A++ that just came up right there. Sam actually identified that. Nice work, Sam. I don't know how much he took it for. Did you take it for 20 points? Looks like the 20 points is still running. It looks like you might have taken it for 15. I know you typically go for 15 or so, but there is an A++ currently running right here. Again, it's at a red flag, so it's not really one of those entries that I typically look for, mainly because it's at the red flag. I'm still following the red flag rule, guys. When it comes down to the MPS V2s for the sweeps, not as a big deal because you're looking for manipulation to happen. But for MPS V2s and A++, I'm still following the red flags because manipulation can tend to happen around where the where the red flags are at. Let's see, visual said we are below the 2-minute opening range, so we could see more downside unless we go over 42,770. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. For me right now, personally, I'm just seeing a range happening right here, guys. I'm seeing a consolidation range throughout this middle area right here. I'm not in any positions right now. Looking to take something, but not in any positions right now. I'm gonna take this off because I want you guys to think I'm in this position here. Um, I'm trying to stick to the storyline here. So I'm looking for a possible sweep. Looks like the sweep might have happened right here, guys, at the Asia low. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of choppiness right here. Looks like we had a sweep, MPS V2, then sweep right here at the sessions. This is again is the reason why I don't take trades at red flags because stuff like this will happen. Now what I'm looking for here is a possible MPS V2 back up, right? Back up to open. So if I get an MPS V2 here, I'll take that. Just following the storyline here, guys. Sweep, MPS V2, sweep. Now looking for the MPS V2 right back up. The thing with the liquidity sweeps, guys, is that it can happen at basically any of these lines that go from left to right, right? It could happen at actual liquidity. It can happen at the sessions. It can happen at point of control. It can happen at value high. It can happen at value low. It can happen at any of those points. We're using those as a confluence to follow up and see where the possible MPS V2 may come up. So like we talked about earlier, we had the MPS V2 right here, or we had the sweep. Now I'm looking for a possible MPS V2. The only problem with this MPS V2 here, guys, is that we're stuck within the range, right? So like I said earlier, we're stuck within the range. This could have been your sweep here, or this could have been your sweep up here. It depends on like what you're looking for, right? I think this sweep here would probably make more sense to you guys because this is rejecting directly off of liquidity. So either direction here of sweep, I mean, there's sweeps in both directions. We had a sweep right here off the sessions, and then a sweep right here off the actual liquidity. So either way, we're still looking for an MPS V2 here. So sweep, MPS V2, sweep, sweep. You could choose which sweep you want to identify as a sweep. Doesn't matter. We just want to identify a sweep. So there's two sweeps here, but now that we have the two sweeps, we're now looking for an MPS V2 to follow up. Yeah, CJ said market flow hit for 30, but sitting out of it right now. Nice. Yeah, there's a lot of entries here coming up. Market flows, MPS V2s, and liquidity sweeps. For me personally, I'm just gonna call it a sweep, guys. Because the thing is, like I said just now, the sweep doesn't have to happen at liquidity, right? It can happen at the sessions, it can happen at the value low, it can happen at the point of control, it can happen at the value high. It's just a sweep. Doesn't have to happen at liquidity. Ideally, we like taking them at liquidity though, right? We like taking them at liquidity, but for the most part, sweeps can happen at any of these lines that go from left to right. So basically red, blue, black, purple, red, green, etc. Any of these lines that go from left to right are possible areas of sweep areas for sweeps to happen. But the thing is, you want to take a sweep where there's a lot of confluences. So for example, here we have like two lines. That's a double confluence. We have two lines that were right here. It's another double confluence. Sweep could happen at the point of control or it could happen at the liquidity, right? Next thing to come up here is going to be an MPS V2. So we'll kind of see what happens here next. If this candle closes red, this is going to be an MPS V2. The only problem here with this MPS V2, guys, is that it's right at the sessions, right? Like I said earlier, I'm still following the red flags, even though, there are entries there. There's still red flags around this area. So MPS V2s for here are going to be very tricky. For here specifically. I mean, price is consolidating and ranging just like I said. So I drew this consolidation range right here, guys, and price is respecting it perfectly. Right. This is what I was kind of expecting earlier, and this is exactly what's happening. Consolidation range. All right, so let's see if price breaks out of this area. There's still no MPS V2 here. If the candle closes red below this area, this is going to be an MPS V2. Again, the only problem with me taking this MPS V2 is that it's at a red flag, right? We have the sessions right here. If you guys want to take it, feel free. I'll mark it up for you guys and I'll follow it through, but I'm not going to be taking it. If anything, I'll be looking for a possible sweep. So this is an MPS V2 for a sell. You probably want to go for 20 points because the ATR is currently at 21. So we'll follow it. If you guys want to take it again, take it at your own risk. I'm looking for a possible sweep here, but I just don't see anything here that I'm specifically comfortable with taking right now. Clean that up a little bit. There's a couple good confluences here. So like looking at this, there's a MPS V2. It also broke this low. So this is also a high-low scalp for any of you guys who still take that strategy. So there's two confluences right here. There's high-low scalp, price broken, close below structure. And then on top of that, there's also a MPS V2 currently running. So all of the strategies here are kind of coming into play. Um, if you guys aren't familiar with the strategies, just go to the course. Again, if you guys are new here and you guys want to understand what we're talking about, all these strategies are covered in the course. The course is completely free. I don't charge for the course. So like if you want to have access to it, just go to the website, kodikaitrades.com, click right here. It says click here for free access to our trading strategies and community. Once you click on that, just sign up and you'll have access to this whole course right here with all the strategies. So the course is completely free. If you guys want access to my tools, then that's something that you'd have to pay for. But if you just want to learn the strategy so that you can follow on these live sessions, all the strategies are covered in the website right there on the course, and it's completely free again. The Discord's free, the YouTube's free. Um, if you want the indicators, of course, that's what you got to pay for. But everything else, if you want to learn what we're doing here. Because a lot of these strategies, if you guys need a refresher, I'd say go back and review the strategies because a lot of these are starting to they're starting to overlap. So you can use them as an extra confluence. Like I said earlier, we had a high low right here. This candle broke and closed below the high low. So that's a high low scalp. Plus it was an MPSV2. The only reason I skipped this trade was because it was at a red flag right here, which is the sessions. If there was no sessions right there, I would have taken this entry. Another thing is that this candle is big. So a couple red flags here. Candle is too big. Red flags for the sessions right there. And then this over here is another MPSV2. MPSV2 lined up with a high-low scalp. Nice work, Sam. So Sam's 3 for 3 today. 3 wins out of 3 trades. So Sam took the MPSV2, the sweep, and then another, or he took the A++ sweep and the MPSV2 right here. So Sam's getting in and out for 15 points. He's doing a 15-20, which is smart. He's staying within the parameters of the ATR. Haven't taken anything yet today, guys. This could be a possible sweep right here. So this could be a possible sweep right there off that liquidity. There's a lot of entries coming up today. They're just entries that I'm not really comfortable with taking. Yeah, another sweep right there, guys. That's crazy how many entries, like these entries are coming up. They're too quick. Um, And that's what's kind of throwing me off a little bit because usually these entries have they're kind of spaced out a little bit, but we have a lot of entries here that are just happening right after each other. So sweep MPSV2, sweep, sweep MPSV2, another sweep right here off liquidity. Yeah, these entries are coming quick. I'm not really taking too much risk, guys. It's Monday. I'm still looking for entries, but I'm not trying to take anything that's overly risky, of course. I did have my risk in three, so I can take 3 trades per day now. Um, but I'm still not trying to take anything that's too risky, of course. I'm still trying to stay within my boundaries. So we have a possible buy signal right here. If this buy signal closes, this could be a possible MPSV2 backup. Gotcha. Sam said he's holding until the range breaks. Yeah, the consolidation range right here, this is probably going to sit in this area for a while. 655 right now, it's probably going to have to sit here until maybe around 7. So there's no news today, so it's kind of hard to see, but it's a whole number, of course. At 7 o'clock, there's probably gonna be some volatility here in about 4 minutes. It'll probably push out of this range. So what I'm expecting here is if it does push out of the range, it might fake out. So it might push out, fake out, pull back in, right? Like a head and shoulders around 7 o'clock. There's like really nothing here to look at because it's just a slow day today with regard to news. Um, The big news starts to come out on Wednesday. So on Wednesday we have CPI. So this is inflation week. We have CPI, consumer price index on Wednesday. Then we have PPI on Thursday, producer price index. And then Friday we have Michigan consumer sentiment. So the big days are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for news. Monday, Tuesday are going to be kind of like just basic stuff. Um, Low impact bond news. But the big stuff happens Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday CPI, Thursday PPI, Friday Michigan consumer sentiment. All inflation news for this week. So last week was NFP week. This is inflation week. The week after is going to be Fed week, and then the week after that's going to be housing. So it's kind of, I mean, it's the same thing every week. You guys just got to remember we are in a summer market, so you know. With us being in a summer market, expect volatility to be low, expect there to be a lot of consolidation, a lot of ranging. It's not going to be a big problem for us because we're still going to be looking for possible opportunities for sweeps. I think the sweeps are going to be very useful during this type of market because we're going to have a lot of back and forth. So we have no MPS V2 setting up here. In order for us to have an MPS V2, we need to have a buy signal come up because the sell signal has been used already. We had a sell signal here, MPS V2, sweep. Now we're looking for a buy signal to provide the next MPS V2. This is a possible A++ setup. The only problem with this here is that this candle is huge. So when the candle is huge like this usually tends to retrace back up. And that's kind of what's happening right here as we speak. See, Sam said 42,810 are areas for sell or just dump here. Big F fair value gaps below. Gotcha. 42,810 for a sell. Okay. Yeah, so looking at this over here, Sam's looking for a possible sell right here. This lines up with my analysis. So Sam's trying to get in for a sell around like 42,810. My sells are going to be right here on 42,820. So a little bit higher than yours. It's still in the same parameter within this area. Reason for me trying to get in for a sell right here is because I have a value high at that point. We do have a possible value low right here. This is going to be from Friday. So 42,660. This is where a possible sweep can happen. 42,660. Friday was the 7th, I believe. Right? If I remember correctly. 6th. Okay. So I'll put this right here. 6,6. Value low. Looks like the sweep might be happening right here at the liquidity. All right, there's no other levels around this area. I mean, none that I can really look at. Yeah, the value low and the value high here line up with each other. If price drops any lower, we have some more levels down here. So 640 would be the value high from Tuesday, June 3rd. 640. All right, I'm just marking up different zones down there in case price does get that low. We're still looking for an MPS V2 here. MPS V2 still hasn't came up. Let's see, visual citation. If you're interested in setting a 2-minute opening range on TradingView, you can use. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I've seen that one before, visual. I'll take a look at it later. I just don't want to make too much mess on the chart, but thanks for the heads up. I'll definitely take a look at it because our charts get pretty messy, so I don't want to make it any messier than they already are. But if it does help, then of course I'll take a look. So I took a note of that, and I'll take a look at it maybe after the live session. Appreciate it, visual. This type of market is good for opening range, for orb strategies just in general, because we're in a choppy market here. When the market's super directional, the orbs aren't very good because obviously price breaks out of it and doesn't really come back. But in a choppy market like this, not really choppy, but I'd say in a ranging market, right? In a ranging market like this, opening ranges are actually pretty good because like for example, I mean, I don't have an opening range here, but for example, if you had price breaking out of this range, like for this part right here, Not to say this might be like a 15-minute opening range, or let me see how many minutes this is. So market open right here at 6:30. So we'd say this is maybe like a 20-minute opening range. For because there's different opening ranges that people like to apply. There's like a 5-minute orb, there's a 2-minute orb, 10-minute orb, 20-minute orb. Depends on like what time frame or what time you're looking to take it from. If you're doing like something like a 20-minute, this could have been an orb entry right here. Or if you're looking for a 30-minute, let's see, 30-minute orb. So a 30-minute orb would have happened like right here actually. This would be the 30-minute orb if it breaks below it. So there's a ton of different strategies out there, guys. Like we talk about this literally every week. It doesn't matter what strategy you're applying, as long as you have proper risk management and you have a trading plan in place, and it's profitable, you should be perfectly fine. So just something to keep in mind. Whether you like taking breakouts, whether you like taking MPSV2s, whether you like taking sweeps, doesn't really matter what strategy you apply. You just got to make sure that your risk is calculated properly. So for me, I calculated my risk to take 3 trades per day. So I half my risk in three, or I half my risk in thirds, basically. So I'm not going to make as much profit per trade, but I'm going to have opportunity to take more trades. A lot of entries have come up so far already, though. My trading plan is following MPS V2s into sweeps and then sweeps into MPS V2s. Right here, we had a sweep, so the next thing that I'd have to look for here would be an MPS V2, which would require a buy signal, right? Until we get a buy signal, there's no opportunities there. All right. So this could have been a possible sweep right here too off the sessions again. It's actually a really strong push away. So I'm just marking up all of the different opportunities that may have come up. I mean, this could be another possible sweep right here too. It's okay if the strategies overlap. Like if you have an MPSV2 that happens to follow by an MPSV2, or if you have a sweep that follows by another sweep, that's completely fine. It just depends on the market conditions. Today we're in a choppy market, so there's going to be a lot more sweeps than usual. There's probably going to be double ups of sweeps than there are double ups of MPSV2s. Because MPSV2 is directional, while the sweeps are for ranging markets. So we kind of get the best of both worlds. If the market's going directional, fine, we'll look for some MPSV2s. If the market's looking for, if it's ranging, we'll look for sweeps. Nice. Visual said he's short from 42,740, looking for 100 points. Perfect. Let's see. So Visual got in from 47,740, which is up here. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So Visual is looking to get down to that 100-point mark. I think that's very possible, Visual. So yeah, your 100 points right there will get to the value high from 6.3. So from June 6th, that's going to be the value high price point. If prices drop any lower, it can very possibly hit your target there. So it's a nice target. Your target lines up exactly with the June 3rd value high, which is where I'm expecting the sweep to happen anyways. So your trade there is probably going to come down, hit this area, and then possibly sweep from there right back up. So I'm with you with that analysis. But I'm still looking for an MPSV2, guys. So nothing for me to take here right now. I'm looking for that MPSV2 to come up. Once the MPSV2 comes up, I'll look for a possible opportunity there, and then maybe a possible sweep to follow. All right, yeah. So looking at this right here, guys, we had a buy signal that was pending. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a possible MPSV2 to push price right back up, and then possibly a sweep back down. So if we do get a buy entry here, yeah, possible push to the upside right here to liquidity, and then probably a sweep back down. So basically a head and shoulders. right? I don't ever plan to mark up a head and shoulders. Like I don't purposely try to draw a head and shoulders. It's just this is a pattern that comes up. I don't like to draw patterns and I don't like to take patterns, but the head and shoulders is just a classic pattern that comes up. It comes up even though I don't plan on like I didn't plan to draw a head and shoulders right here. I just that's what I saw happening. MPSV2 pushing up and then a sweep happening from right here right back down. It's a perfect head and shoulders right there. You know, patterns get a lot of slack. Like a lot of people don't like patterns. I personally don't like patterns either, but the thing is you can't deny that the patterns are coming up. Like the patterns, they're just there. Um, I'm looking for MPSV2. So MPSV2 right here, possibly pushing up. And then again, like I said, if that MPSV2 plays through, if it sweeps from this area right here, then we're going to expect it to come back down and then MPSV2 right back down here, right? So there's three entries here. It's basically three legs. You have MPSV2 right here, you have a sweep, and then you have another MPSV2 right back down. So as much as I don't like patterns, I agree with it. I agree like it can come up because that's what I'm looking for. All right, nothing here yet, guys. Looks like price is coming back down. There may be a possible MPSV2 setting up right here for a sell. This is going to come down to your target right there, visual, down to that value high. I actually like an MPS V2 for a sell here better. So what I'm looking for here now is I'm looking for an MPS V2 down this way and then a sweep from here. So an inverted head and shoulders now, right? Since we didn't get that buy entry there for MPS V2, we now have a pending sell signal. This could be an inverted head and shoulders basically. So shoulder, which should be an MPS V2 sweep that would happen right here. This sweep over here is actually pretty nice. I wouldn't mind taking this here as a sweep. Sweeping off because there's liquidity right there, and then there's also a session. So we're currently bouncing off the value low right here, June 6th value low. Sell signal hasn't closed yet. Price is having a lot of trouble getting past this value low now that I've noticed it. We've had a couple tests right here. Price tested right there, bounced directly off it. Again, right here, price tested again. Basically a double bottom off the value low. So the MPS V2 might come back up here for a buy, guys. We had a buy signal here. If a green candle closes above this area right here, this could be a possible MPS V2. For me here, this is going to be tricky again because, like I said, there's going to be a red flag right there. If you guys want to take this as an MPS V2, I mean, you guys can. The problem here again is the red flag. We have the sessions right there. Unless you want to go for a smaller target, maybe 20 points, you can probably get in and out of that very quickly. So this has to close above this blue line right here. If it closes above the blue line, this is going to be an MPS V2 here for a buy. 30 points is kind of tricky because you got to get up past the sessions right there. But if you want to go for 20 points, I mean, this could be a possible push to the upside right there, and then you can get out. It's got to close above this blue line though. I don't like how it's bouncing back and forth. This makes it very tricky. If you guys want to take it, feel free. And it did actually close above the blue line right there. Close at the last second. If you want to go for 20 points, you can write that up. I was thinking about taking the trade here. The only problem is that this here was kind of bouncing back and forth, so I didn't like that. Um, yeah, I mean, 20 points could get hit right there. I guess I'll just look for the sweep to happen after. So MPSV2 right there, and then a possible sweep, which could happen right here at the 720, or it could happen higher right here at the 729. Let me see where that sweep can kind of play through at. So we have the value high right here. So if price pushes up higher, it can come up and it can possibly retest this value low. So what I'm looking for here is the sweep could happen right here where it breaks below, comes up, retests, and then comes back down. I mean, that's one thing. The other thing is price can push over here to the point of control. I haven't gotten into anything yet here. Still watching. So I'm just following this right here, guys. I'm not in this MPSV2 right now. Like I said, I wasn't too comfortable with this candle over here closing because it was kind of choppy. Like this candle would push up and it would come down to the last second. And then at the very last second, it pushed right back up above it. If I'm going to take an MPSV2, I want to make sure that it closes for sure. So I'm not in this position right here. We're just following this here as a follow-up because if this MPSV2 doesn't play through, then I'm going to be looking for a possible sweep, maybe right here. See, the thing with this low though is that I'll move this a little lower. I'll take this off. So the MPSV2 is technically still running right now if you're going for the 30-30. I mean, whatever outcome happens from here, I'm going to be looking for a sweep to happen after it anyways. So the sweep could happen possibly down here at the 42,653. So I'll look for a possible sweep to happen right here down below. 42,653. I'll try to get my sweep in from there. 42,653. I'll put a limit order right there. All right. So my first entry for today is going to be possible sweep at this liquidity right here. I'm gonna have to adjust my target a little bit because yeah, I think 20. Oops.
Order filled.
So I'm in it right there. Let me change this to 20. 673 gonna be my target, 20 points. So it filled right here. It's pushing up to my target right there. So you get a few more points up. Going for the 20. It's at 16 points right now. A little bit further. Man, this volatility is low. Might have to lower it to 18. I think the 20 might have been a little too far off. Still holding it though right there. I think anything below 20 is just it's a little too tight though. So I'm just gonna let it run to 20 right there. Full TP. All right, guys, I'm out right there. First win for the day.
Target filled.
Target filled. I'm out. 20 points for that sweep. So I'm following my trading plan, guys. Like I said, I'm looking for MPSV2s to sweeps, to MPSV2s to sweeps. If the MPSV2 doesn't line up with my criteria, then I'm not going to take it. I'll just look for the sweep to follow. So my sweep right here hit full TP. Um, I probably could have held it to 30, but it's okay. Like I said, 30 right there would have gotten hit, but the 20 is fine for me because that's where the ATR is currently at. So full TP on that sweep. My first trade for the week, kicking it off with a win right there. So I will take a screenshot of this real quick so that we can add this to our criteria. Now I'm looking for a possible sweep to come up. All right, so there's that. Um, and I'll take a screenshot of my accounts right now. So guys, I just have like I only have a portion of my accounts right. I only have like about 20 accounts right now because I'm getting a payout on my other set of accounts, but they're currently under review, so I can't trade on them right now. So you'll see my profits over here. A little less profits than usual because, like I said, I'm not trading all 40 accounts right now or like 40 plus accounts. This is about like 20 accounts. Because I requested a payout and like I said before, guys, it always happens. I might get denied on this payout request because I started incorporating the sweeps, right? So I talked about this before, guys. You guys got to be careful if you guys decide to incorporate other strategies or other targets and stuff like that with your Apex accounts because they might deny you because you're not going to be within the consistency. They don't like using multiple strategies during a payout period. So if I get denied on this payout period, it's fine. I'm going to just keep trading it and then I will request on the next payout period. So just keep that in mind, guys. So here are my accounts right here. There are just a few right now. I have more, but this is what I locked in for the day. So all wins right there, full TPs. This is my Apex accounts, and then I have my Tradeify, and then I have my Perdia straight to fund or my Perdia live account. So this is my live account with Perdia. All right, let's look for the next one here. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for the for that there. Unfortunately, you took the stop on this one, right? I think your stop loss was a little tight. I mean, it would have stopped out either way for that MPS V2. Honestly, the MPS V2, I would have taken this with you if this candle here wasn't kind of chopping around. It's just, we're in a choppy market right now. With us being in this choppy range, it right now I prefer to take the sweeps versus the MPS V2s because you don't know when it's going to turn around on you. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Christian's break even also because he took the MPS V2. All good, Christian. I mean, it looked like a good entry. I would have taken it if it wasn't super choppy. The Talanji said, when you send markups to Apex, do you have to include annotations? I would be as detailed as possible, Talanji, so that they know exactly what it is, what you took. Um, like put as many notes in there as possible so that when they look at it, they don't have any more questions to ask you. Because the last thing you want to do is for them to ask you like, what you did here, and then they ask you again, like, okay, I don't understand. Like, explain your strategy. So just try to be as detailed as possible. Like I said, guys, I might get denied on this payout from Apex for my other 20 accounts. I mean, I'm not supposed to be trading the other 20 accounts to begin with, but I might get denied because I started to apply the liquidity sweeps here. And the thing is, my targets have kind of been all over the place, right? Because of the low volatility, I think my consistency might not be at the 20% mark because I've been moving my stop loss and profit. That's one thing too. I think you should avoid moving your stop loss and profit, guys, if possible, because it's going to screw with your trading consistency. Typically, my consistency is at 50% because I'm always trading a one-to-one. Um, but if it goes below 20, that's where it starts to raise red flags. Gotcha. Yeah, it's Laundry City. I'm using the call out tool now just to note the entries. Perfect. Yeah. You just, so a couple things you want to mark up to Laundry is like, you want to have markups exactly like where your entry was at. And then you want to have like some notes in there, like, okay, I took this entry, like have some sort of trading plan in place. Like I took this entry because I got a buy signal or I got a sell signal or there was a sweep area right here and stuff like that. You kind of just want to sound like you know what you're talking about, right? That's for the most part what they're looking for. They want to make sure that you're trading and you have some sort of strategy. Lila said, "Oh heck, I hope not because all I can say is I scalp. Can't say I copied Sean." Yeah, you can say that too, Lila. You know, you just have to have some sort of explanation. Um, yeah, Shiv said, yeah, if you say you copied, it's game over. If you guys have any questions, so if Apex ever asks, well, they're gonna ask you regardless. If you start to get payouts through Apex, they're gonna ask you to send screenshots of your like your trades, explain your trading strategy, even send video. For me, I don't really have to explain stuff because everything is recorded. So I could just give them the video. But if you guys have any problems or if you don't know what to put, just send me a message and I'll give you an explanation or I'll kind of give you an idea of like what to put down. Because it's not hard. Like you can put together a strategy or you can put together an explanation of like why you took that trade. Yeah, before it used to be video Talanji. Like I know they asked you for screenshots of your trades and to explain your strategy, but before it used to they required that you would record yourself trading. Like you'd have to basically screen record your trading just to show that you're actually taking the trades. They used to be pretty strict early before. A lot of people got really upset over that. I don't know why. I mean, if you're trading, right? It's the people who got upset are the people who are basically copy trading, like on a copier system, because it was impossible for them to explain if they didn't know what they were doing. The thing is, you actually know what you're doing, Talanji. Like you're not taking random trades, and you're not just copying me directly. You're, you have your own kind of thought process and stuff like that. Yeah, Sam said, Sam said small TP stop loss gives me more wins also, so I'm okay with the losses. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Sam, 100%. Sam's looking for a sweep at 42,729. 42,729. Okay. Yeah, I could see that too. So your sweep's happening right here on my point of control. So our sweeps are going to line up with each other pretty closely. John's asking, does Michigan consumer sentiment usually affect the market like NFP would? And I agree with Visual right there. So what Visual said, I don't think I wouldn't say it affects it that much. The big events that affect the market, like where you have a big spike, will be CPI. So on Wednesday, 5:30, you're going to see probably a big spike in price. NFP, of course, that's the biggest one of them all. After you're going to see a big spike like you saw on Friday. PPI, which is on Thursday, that has a decent spike. It's not going to be a huge spike, but it's a little bit smaller than CPI. And then Michigan consumer sentiment, not really. It's usually going to be there's going to be movement, but there's not going to be like a 100-point spike. But again, you don't really know. Like, you know what John said, you never really know because in this type of market, there can be something else that happens that day, right? Michigan consumer sentiment can happen at 5:30, but then there could be tariff news around that same time. So if you do see a spike, it's probably not from um, Michigan consumer sentiment, and it might happen because of the China-US tariff trade talk. So that's just something to keep in mind. But from my experience, I've traded Michigan consumer sentiment. So I've been trading live with you guys for about 8 years now, right? So how many is that? I've traded, there's 12 months in the year. So 12 times 8. I basically traded almost 100 Michigan consumer sentiments because I trade every day. I haven't really seen Michigan consumer sentiment ever spike very high. It's moved like maybe like 20, 30 points, maybe 50 points, but not like a 100-point spike or a 200-point spike. The only days that I typically see the big spikes are NFP, CPI, and PPI. I used to YOLO those days. Like on those days you can do like 1 day pass. You can like kind of max out your contract size and then just take a trade in the direction that you think it's going to go, and you can pass right away. I personally don't do that anymore. I did that initially in the beginning to get my accounts passed right away, but I wouldn't recommend it because you start to build bad habits off that. But I mean, if you want to try it, I mean, feel free. There's a Apex promo right now. The Apex promo is 80% off, guys. So I'll put that in the chat as well if anybody's looking to take that. Where's the thing at? Okay, I'll put the link for Apex over here real quick. Here, I'll post it in the Discord in case you guys are interested in it. All right, so this is the promo going on right now with Apex. We're in summer right now, so in the summer they tend to have a lot of they tend to have a lot of promos during the summer. So 80% off evals first and recurring months, $50 resets, lifetime special pricing for PA fees, and then special pricing for 250K and 300Ks. So yeah, there is the promo if anybody's looking to open some new Apex accounts. Got some team profits right here from Jonathan. So Jonathan locked in 200 for the day. Nice work, Jonathan. Solid profits there. I'll update my trader sync in a little bit. I should update it right now because it takes forever for it to update. All right, so we currently have a sell signal right here. This could be setting up for a possible MPSV2 to the downside. You can see here that price is starting to establish like basically a new range below here. Let's see what we got. All right, never mind. No MPSV2 there for a sell. Looks like we might get a buy signal here closing. Yeah, CJ said recording yourself trading or explaining your trades isn't hard, but it is annoying, especially coming from FTMO. Yeah. For FTMO, they never asked for any of that stuff. They didn't care. They just paid you out. Um, with a lot of these other prop firms, they're like they're getting a little more strict. The problem is that there's a lot of people trying to game the system. That's why. So I don't blame Apex for doing that. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are, trying to just copy trades on a copier and not actually trade. So obviously that's going to hurt them if like everyone's copying off someone who's like killing it. That's kind of how I got in trouble too before. That's why I don't let anybody copy my trades directly. All right, so looking at this right here, guys, we have a possible, I mean, it looks like a sweep might have happened up here. Yeah, that's big sweep right here. 729. So it looks like there was a sweep right there, guys. It's fine if a sweep happened right here. It's just again another just reminder that the trades can repeat and they can overlap. So there's no MPS here yet. I'm looking for an MPS because I'm trying to follow the my trading plan. My trading plan is MPS V2 to sweep. We had a sweep right here. This is the last trade I took. Sweep that happened right there. Another sweep right here. But I'm mainly looking for an MPS V2. Let's see. Nice visual. So visual got out of his position too right there. Solid work. So visual got out with 50 points. I know. I was hoping your target there would have gotten hit visual, but I'm glad you got out for at least, portion of it. Because that target still hasn't gotten hit. The value high right here from June 3rd. I mean, price could eventually make its way down, but I think you made the better decision of just pulling out. Look for another opportunity. No need to risk it. Nice work, Sam, on catching that sweep right there. So Sam actually caught the sweep right there. It lined up perfectly with mine. I had my liquidity just hanging out right there. There's actually multiple sweeps. There's another sweep that happened right here too. Obviously, this one would have been the better one because it's farther out. Yeah, Christian said that sweep would yeah, sweep would have been fire. Now, if we had the MPS, so if we had the MPS V2 come up first and then followed by a sweep, that would have been even better. But yeah, I mean the sweep here was pretty clean. It did exactly how this one over here, how we planned for it to play out. Yeah, CJ said I would prefer an MPS V2 to the downside because of that sweep. Yeah, exactly. So now we have a possible MPS V2 coming up right here, guys. So we had a sell signal here, price swung all the way up, and there's a possible MPS V2 coming below this point. If this candle closes below this blue line right here, this is an MPS V2 for a sell. The thing here that you want to look for again, guys, is you want to make sure that the candle actually like stays below this point. You don't want it to where it's like kind of bouncing back and forth, right? Um, yeah, see how it's bouncing back and forth right here? This is where you want to be very careful because this can just push right back up at the last second. So just make sure you're watching it to the last second. Also make sure the candle's not too huge. Okay, so see right there, it's now back above the line. This is what I don't like for entries for MPSV2. I want it to for sure close like down here. And again, right there, push right back up. There's no MPSV2 at the moment. And there is an MPSV2 right here, guys. But like I said, I don't like when it's bouncing back and forth like that. So I didn't take this right here as MPSV2. If you guys want to take it, it is currently running, but I'm not in the position here right now. Let's see. CJ said I missed the 90% promo while I was on vacation. Would have been nice to upgrade my 250Ks and three 150Ks to 300. So I'd have 300s. I know ideally that's like where you want to be, CJ, because once you have 20 300Ks, it's a lot easier because you don't have to trade as much, right? You take a couple trades and it multiplies a lot quicker. All right, so we got the MPSV2 here currently running, guys. If anybody's in the position, we'll follow with you. I'll be looking for a possible sweep to happen maybe down here. It's running in profit right now, almost at 20 points. I don't know if you got into that, Christian. I know you're looking at full TP right there on that MPSV2, guys. I wanted to take this here, but like I said, it was bouncing back and forth too much, so I wasn't able to get into it right away. So full TP right here. CJ got it, Solange got it, Christian got it. Nice work, guys. Everybody, Sam as well. Great work on catching the MPSV2 right there. For me, I was kind of just waiting a little bit for this here to confirm, but it didn't confirm the way I wanted. There's a possible sweep happening right here now. So MPSV2 into the sweep. If this sweep isn't the sweep level, there's another sweep level down here at the value high that Visual was aiming for earlier for its target. So there may be a possible sweep there, maybe a possible sweep down there. Yeah, no problem, Sam. I'm glad you guys caught that. Talanji's asking, how do you get rid of the smaller ones? Yeah, that's what I would do, Talanji. So what I would do with the smaller accounts is I would kind of take more risk on them. Like I would just kind of YOLO it. Not really YOLO it, but I would trade it, but trade it a lot more aggressively. That's what I did with my other accounts. So what happened with my other accounts initially, I had 150K accounts, had a bunch of 150Ks. And what I did was I ended up trading the 150Ks. Like once I passed the 300s, I just kind of traded the 150Ks a little more aggressively. I made some pretty decent profit. I got my payouts on those. And then the following month, I just burned them out. So I just burned them and then I canceled them. And then after that, I activated my 300K accounts. So that's pretty much what I did. Okay, so it looks like the sweep might be happening a little lower, guys, at the value high right here. So it looks like the sweep might be happening from this point. I didn't get into it because I was just waiting for it to come down a little bit. I mean, it's too late for me to enter now. I'm not going to enter this trade late, but there is a possible sweep running right now off this value high. Nice work, Christian. So here are Christian's profits for the day so far. He made it out of the break even and back into profit. So Christian over here locked in at 375 for the day. Nice work, Christian. All right, there's a possible sweep right here running, guys. I missed the sweep because I was kind of paying attention to this upper level. Obviously, I want to go for the farther level down below, which was right there, and the sweep looks like it's about to play through. Sweeping off that value high right there from June 3rd. It's on its way up. I'm not going to enter this late. Just going to let it kind of play through. Let you guys have it. Shiv said, can't you withdraw a threshold after X amount of payouts? So if you have 50,000, say 4,500 and had 5 cent payouts, can't you withdraw everything after? Well, that rule is new, Shiv. So I don't really keep up with all of the new rules. I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, you could probably do that, but I don't know how it is with Apex. I know you could do that with Perdia. So I've done that with Perdia. And you can do that with Tradeify, I believe. I don't know about Apex. I know Apex is always changing their rules like I don't know, like every 30 days or every 2 months. So yeah, if I'm assuming Apex copied or they moved over to the same model that everybody else is using. But yeah, if that's the case, then yes, you could probably do that. But when I did it initially, I didn't that wasn't a rule back then. Like back then it was still in the 14 days. So I had to go through the entire process. All right, so I'm not in the position right here, guys. Like I said, I'm just following it. There's an MPS V2 that played through. It is pushing into the sweep. There's a lot of entries that came up for today. Let's see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 entries for the day. Most of them hit. So let's see how many wins we had for the day so far. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically 10 wins and 1 loss. And this one over here is still currently running. So we'll see what happens with this one here. Okay, so this is where I was looking to take the sweep, right? I was talking about this earlier, guys. I'm actually looking to take the sweep down here at the, or I was trying to take the sweep down here at the sessions. Down. It's already too late. So this is where I was actually looking to take the sweep. I just realized that because we were so far from this price. This is the sweep area that I was looking for earlier. I said this one over here would have been nice because it was at the there's a sessions right there and it's also at liquidity. I mean, it's too late for me to enter now, but this is the actual sweep area that I was looking at earlier when we were up here. So when we were up here, I was like, okay, we're looking for an MPSV2 to come down and then sweep from this point. I think this will hit for sure. I'm not in this position because it just came down too quickly. I wasn't able to get in. But this is a pretty solid sweep area because there's so many confluences right here. We have the sessions and then we had the liquidity right there as well. Price rejected directly off it too. Fuck. That'd have been a good entry. There you go. Full TP right there on that sweep. So, we talked about this before, guys. The sweeps, it kind of depends on how far you want to go. There was one level of sweep right here, but the actual level of sweep that I would have looked for would have been this one down here because this one is an actual liquidity and it's lined up with the sessions right there. I missed it. I didn't even realize that it was coming up so quick because I was looking at this earlier, like 20 minutes ago, and then it already ended up pushing through. All right. Nice work, guys. Yeah, nice work on catching that. Glenn got it. I don't know if Sam, you caught it too. CJ got it, and Christian got it, and Shiv got it. Nice work, guys. It is 7:44 right now, getting closer to 8 o'clock. Man, that would have been a good entry. It's okay. I'm glad you guys caught it though. That was what I was looking for. All right, so I think my trader sync has finally updated. Let's see. Okay, so here are my stats for the week so far. I'm up 8,000. Not as much as I'm used to being up because so thing is I've divided my risk by three. So technically if this was one full trade, it would have been 8,000 times three. It'd been 24,000 plus the extra account, so times two, be closer to like 48,000. So I'm trading a portion of my risk, and then I'm also only trading a portion of my accounts right here. So I only traded about actually this isn't even all of them. Let me see if I could update it a little further. Here, let me see. I'm gonna go and update this a little bit. It doesn't have my Tradeify accounts on there. It also doesn't have my Perdia. See, the problem is when I sync my accounts, it takes forever for it to sync. So my trader sync is actually frozen right now in the sync window. So I can't even update it. It's okay. All right, so yeah, unfortunately I can't update my trader sync because it's still in synchronization in process. It keeps freezing up at this because I have so many accounts with Apex that it gets frozen up. But anyways, here are my stats for the year. So currently I'm at 401,750 for gross. Net profit is 323,000. This is my scale. So basically from January 1st up until today, this is all my profits for the year so far. Currently digging my way out of this consolidation back and forth. And then here are my profits for the day. I only took one trade for the day so far. I don't know if I'm going to get another one today, but I took one trade, made 8,000 for the day. So I'm currently up 8,000 for the week so far. Not a crazy amount because I'm taking a lot smaller risk than I usually do. And then also, basically half my accounts aren't there. So not too bad. Decent way to start off the week there. Let's see. Yeah, no, exactly. Shiv, I just saw your message. So with those accounts, Shiv, I actually had those accounts for a while. So I did do the full withdrawal. Because so when I had the 150K accounts, I had those accounts for a couple months. So I was out of the well, I was at that point where like I was able to withdraw like whatever was left in it. So that's what I did. I kind of like YOLO'd a little bit so I can get the payout. And then for that payout, I did the max threshold, which is pretty much most of the account. And then I blew the accounts after because I was just trying to get rid of them. So yeah, back then I was withdrawing like the max that I could every time. So we got some profits over here from Shiv. Let's see. Shiv locked in. Pretty good. I'll put this over here on the Discord. It's probably gonna be easier to see. So Shiv over here locked in some pretty good profits as well. Nice work right there, Shiv. Great profits right there. Nice W's for the day. And let's see. Yeah, Sam said 40. Yeah, that was an A plus plus right there too. So there was an A plus plus entry that came up right here, guys. If anybody took that, aside from Sam, I know Sam's been following it pretty well, but Sam actually caught that right there as an A plus plus. This was actually a really good setup because now that I'm looking at it right here, guys, there was an MPS V2. So MPS V2 into an A plus plus into a sweep. It was a perfect kind of linear move right there. MPS V2 A plus plus into the sweep. So a lot of entries today, guys. I think there was about like 13 or 14 entries that came up today. Maybe one or two losses, but for the most part, I mean, everything's been hitting. This is why I half my risk into three guys so I can take more entries. Today I was a little more on the cautious side because obviously, today's Monday. Tomorrow I'll probably take a little more risk. I'll kind of jump into positions as they come up. And I'll try to be a little more focused with the setups. But I mean, overall, you guys did pretty good. So great day so far. Again, I locked in 8,000 for the day. Nothing too crazy, but just enough. So I locked in 8,000 to start off the week, pretty much in the green. We've been well, we're on a winning streak, but we're on a pretty much, this was break even last week, and then we're hitting right here. So I'm hoping the rest of June stays green. Because like I said, the main goal here is to close out the days with profit. You can see over here in May, it's kind of like choppy for a bit. April is my first red month for the year. March was the best month for the year so far. A lot of wins there, little losses. February is pretty good, and then January is a good start for the year. So these are my stats for the year. I made 75,000 for January, 94,000 for February, 238,000 for March. Took a small loss in April, 59,000. May has a small win of 44,000 for the month. And this month so far, I'm at 88,195. So for the year so far, gross up 401,000. For the net, I'm up 323,000. Win rate right now is currently at 70%. It's a little higher than that, but I'm just going to leave it as is because we've been applying more strategies. So that's just kind of where we're at the moment. So not too bad. I'm hoping we continue on with these entries and the analysis continues to play through. I think we kind of have a we have a pretty good we have a pretty good trading plan for the summer market. I think following these MPS V2s into the sweeps, they're gonna be very, very lucrative, of course, because this is the type of market that we're gonna be stuck in. We're gonna get some directional movements, and then we're gonna get some choppy movements. So the sweeps are gonna be great for the chop, and the MPS V2s are gonna be good for the directional moves. All right. So other than that, let's see what else we got here. And then we got Lila over here killing it as well. So Lila over here locked in. Let's see, 1,034 for the day. Nice work, Lila. Lila keeping up the consistency. So great work right there, Lila. She locked in 1,034 for the day. So solid work right there. You guys did pretty good for the day, everybody. CJ's asking if we're going to have a mentoring session this week. So we might have one. I have one that's in line, but they're not for sure if they're going to be able to make it. So I'll let you guys know tomorrow. That session is for, I believe, Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday the 11th. So I'll let you guys know if we end up having it, but it's not set in stone yet. Yeah, Christian said Kodi Kai definitely needs steak today. 100%. Yeah, I know, right, Lila? She might come early. We'll see. She's due July 11th, so I'm just a little busy right now with setting up and preparing and getting ready for stuff. But yeah, she might come early. We'll see, maybe late June, maybe early July. All right, guys, we have a possible MPS V2 setting up right here. We have a buy signal retracement right here on this red candle if this pushes up for another green candle. So if we get that set up here, this could be a possible MPS V2 to the upside. If that's the case and we get an MPS V2 to the upside right there, we might be able to identify a possible sweep. I don't really see any sweeps here right now, specifically. Yeah, I don't know. We're getting close to 8 o'clock, so I don't think we're going to have enough volatility for anything really too crazy or too big. Let's see. We have a 660 right here. I already have that marked up. Yeah, the levels haven't really adjusted very much, but you guys can see here the market profile actually looks a lot better, right? So price is respecting the market profile for the previous days. It's respecting it for the same day and previous days. It's not like how it was last week, right? Like this is last week. This was a mess. It was like all over the place. It was cutting into market profile from like previous months. This is how it was on Friday. I mean, Friday was pretty messy. If you guys remember Friday's market right here. Now, Friday's market, the market profile was like right here. But the thing is, price didn't even respect any of that because price was way out of that range as it shot right through. So I'm hoping we stick to this area here and we can respect, the market profile within the mid range versus it kind of pushing super far. But I don't, well, we'll see because the China talks are going to happen, I think today, right? Let's refresh this. China and US trade officials to hold talks in London today on Monday. Yeah, so we'll see what happens here after they're done speaking. I mean, we're probably going to see a spike later today after the news comes out. Whether this is announced today or whether this is announced tomorrow, um, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, this is going to cause some sort of movement in the market once we get off this live. All right, there goes the MPSV2, guys. It's currently running right now. I'm not in this position. I'm following it for you guys here. Let's see. Glenn said done for the day. Great way to start the week. Thanks, guys. Yeah, definitely, Glenn. We'll see you back here tomorrow. CJ said, Lila, you have to upgrade yourself from Section 8 trader to tiny home trader with your consistency. I know. Lila's been killing it. Your consistency has been on fire, Lila. You've been posting profits every single day, which I love to see because, like, this shows you that you're doing well. So Lila locked in 1,000 for the day today. Lila locked in 1,200 Friday. She locked in 1,400 Thursday. She locked in 929 Wednesday. And she locked in 800 the day before that. So every day she's been killing it, keeping around that 1,000 range. All right, MPSV2 here is about to hit for 20 points, looks like. Yeah, Christian said, was tempted on that last entry, but I don't want to lose and screw up my day. Yeah, I wouldn't have done it either, Christian. I think you're good, bro. If there was a sweep around this area, I've been more inclined to take something like that. MPS V2 is kind of tricky towards the end of the session because the volatility is so low. I mean, in general, any position closer to 8 o'clock, because 8 o'clock cutoff is right here, you don't want to be stuck in a position that's just going to go sideways for like, 10, 20 minutes, and then it ends up hitting your stop loss. So it's all good, Christian. This is probably going to hit. I hope it does. I mean, obviously, I want the trade to hit. I want to fade my own analysis. Um, so yeah, of course, I'd like this to hit, but I think you made the right decision on staying on the safer side. So about to be full TP, and there you go. Full TP for the MPS V2 right there, guys. And with that said, I think we're going to wrap this up now. Yeah, Sam said, thanks for today, Sean. I'm gonna go watch this video and journal later. Yeah, definitely, Sam. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Lila said, not posting if under 1,000 because I look special ahead. Mike said, if 900 plus a day is Section 8, I'm clearly homeless. Oh, man. This is a good market though, guys. I mean, the market in general is not super great, but I think our trading plan right here is it's gonna be pretty good moving forward, guys. So, um, all I gotta say is like bear with me with this market. I'm trying to be as careful as possible, just as you guys are. But now with us kind of understanding the market structure here, going from MPSV2 to sweeps, I think I'm going to be able to take a little more entries. Now that I've kind of half my risk into three, I can take three trades for the day now instead of one or instead of two. And I'll be able to, obviously look for more opportunities here to stack up my profits. The only problem is that now that I'm taking a three-part risk, it's going to take quite a bit more for me to make my full profit for the day because I would have to take about like three entries. So we'll see. I mean, if I wanted to go back to two entries, I'll go back to two entries. But as of now, I'll keep it at three just so that I could feel a little more comfortable with my trades and whatnot. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. If you guys have more profit to post up, feel free to send them in. Um, I'll take a screenshot of my stats for the week and for the month, and then I'll post them up so that you guys can see. But other than that, guys, I think that's about it. So, all right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here, same place, same time tomorrow as we continue on with this CPI, PPI trading week. So, all right, guys, have a great